to our discussion right here in the Abuja, from the Abuja Network Center, where we take a look at the impact of the hike in electricity tariff in the how it's going to affect the populace right there. And also joining me this morning to take a look at that is comrade Hamza Mohammed, as we take a look at what is really happening and what that will really do to the economy. It's a pleasure to have you this morning.
A pleasure to have you.
Yesterday, because the speculation has been on for quite some time about the fact that the government wants to remove subsidy from electricity. And yesterday, the story eventually came out from 66 naira per kilowatt to 225 naira per kilo. What do you make of this?
Actually, it's a very disturbance, because when you look at it, formally we know that the NEPA has been solved. It is a market to some people, which they are to make a profit and then pay money to the government. But at all the time, where the subsidy arise from? It is something that you have to ask, where the subsidy arise from? And then in the all agreement, from the time that this NEPA has been given to the private sector, it has been fair. Why government are not going to terminate it? And then even if it is making another new agreement with another people to take the NEPA, if you look, where are we getting the light? That's the first question. Are people enjoying the light? No. The light is not there. And then at all the time, people are complaining about the money. Even from the start, when the government proposed that they are going to have a meter, you know, this meter is in different categories. It's not in the same categories.
Yeah.
If you are industry, what you are paying is different. Yeah. If you are in residential, what you are paying is different. Then what brings another issue? That the increase is to the elite. Is there any cable that one is serving a lot different to the one that is serving the poor people? Why government all the time they are just talking to us like we are not, we don't even know what we are doing?
That's funny.
It's seriously. So actually government has to change this narrative. They have to know that Nigerians are citizens of this country. And then we have every right to enjoy every subsidy from fuel, school, and electricity. We don't have a steady power supply. Okay. And then the steady power supply, that's what will boost the economy everywhere in the world. And then the government are always saying that they are going to improve about the entrepreneurship. How do you build the entrepreneurship without a power supply? If today you have increased 3 times, what do you expect as an entrepreneur, somebody who will produce a pure water and sell? How many do you expect him tomorrow to sell the pure water? Up to now, we are discussing about the minimum wage. Government cannot come out boldly and put a food to the table of the workers to make sure that when you are working, you are earning so amount of the salary. But government are ready to increase. Can the people survive in this type of the administration that we are moving? I think, Mr. President, he has to look. Some people who are advising, maybe they are advising him wrongly.
Okay, you talked about being given the wrong advice right there. And that also must talk about the timing of the subsidy removal. We are still reeling from the impact of subsidy being removed from the fuel, talking about petrol. And a lot of people are still coming. The cost of price things, the inflation level has risen to a whole new level. People are complaining every day. Cost of living is high. They can't even take care of themselves. People can't afford 2 square meters. In the midst of all this, the subsidy, removal of subsidy for electricity that is not even there is also coming up. Do you think this government has a human face?
Actually, in this regard, when you look at it, they completely, maybe they have forgot that they are the leaders. Yes, because if you are a leader at all the time, what you have to think, what will benefit your people? How your people will turn around? Because now people will be stagnant. Because we are from the fuel subsidy. Up to now, we never come up. We are still in that trauma. And then now, we are going back to electricity. So people now cannot buy a 4 liter of fuel to fuel their generator. If there is no light, people will stay in that. Then now, the little light people are seeing now, you want to take it off from us. It's very terrible. I think they have to think twice. They have to think twice. There is a lot of this thing is not going to yield something positive to because what's supposed to be is what will be the benefit. If now the business is not going on, how government are going to benefit? But even if it's pure water today, if you are producing, then you are paying your tariff. People are from one engine of the pure water, you can have almost 10-20 people that they are working. With this thing, this way you can take them out of the work. What do you expect? We are talking about the insecurity. How do you prevent this insecurity without job? Even to protect to some little jobs, government has to look at the issue of this power. This power has to be improved. Since the coming of this government, our expectation is to start building new substations. Do you have a new substation? How many do you have since the coming of this government? No, we don't have anyone. Extend the transformers. Community light, where they doesn't have a light, put transformer, take the light to those communities. But now, where even the light is now, they don't want people to enjoy it.
Okay, let's take a look at the motive behind what government has decided to do. Because when you look at the fact that they said, we've been subsidizing it, so much is really going to it that can be used for other sectors of the economy to grow the economy. Now, about 1.3 trillion naira will be gained from the removal of the subsidy. But do you think by government taking away the subsidy can boost those discos and also private agencies who are in the business? They can rightfully make their money and be able to reinvest it. Could it be this what government is trying to do? For them to be able to have enough money to reinvest into that sector so we can have an increase in power supply?
I think this is not the first story that we have from the government. When they're about to remove the fuel subsidy, this is the same story. That after removing the fuel subsidy, how many roads now has been built after removing the fuel subsidy because it has been impacted? How many? That one is for how many years? That one is not a new road. It's an all existing road that have been reconstructed because they are there for many years, which the asphalt has been is not normal. So, but what we are doing when we look at it economically, where people are living, where people are earning their daily bread, you don't take it out from there. Because the fuel subsidy now, people are suffering. And then there's no fuel today. People cannot fuel their generators. Then the little light that people are using to even do their manufacturing now, it's ×3. Then what do you expect? That's why I just put an example of pure water. Pure water now is 15 naira. Then if the light now is 3 times, how much do you expect that you will buy a pure water? Are you ready to buy pure water 150 naira or 200 naira a pure water? How much is your salary?
We will return back to putting water inside nylon.
Which nylon?
Our own normal nylon of the street.
So if you look at it, it's very terrible. We should look at if government they want to increase something, let's do something first. Let's establish those what they call substations. Let's have a steady power supply. When you're talking that you give some people 20 hours power supply, you give some people 5-hour power supply, this thing is just something, just imagination. But it's not in reality. It's not in reality. So definitely, government has to look inward. They have to know, first of all, it's a Nigeria, and we need that light. Even countries that they are not up to Nigeria, they are having a 24-hour power supply. And then you can be in that country for good 10 years without a tariff increment. If they don't have the source of income like Nigeria has, they are not even rich like Nigeria. If there should be a case, why can't they be increasing their tariff every year?
But when we talk about this increase in tariff, so many stakeholders will come and say it's higher in UK, It's, they pay higher in Niger Republic, they pay higher in South Africa. Why should Nigerians be complaining? What do you think about this narrative?
If you look, why are we going to compare ourselves with UK? UK, if you have a child, can your child go to school?
Yes.
Then in Nigeria, if you have a child, can your child go to school?
Very difficult.
Why?
Because the cost is different, it's high.
Because they have subsidized the life. That first of all, you must have education.
Yes.
Secondly, you must have a work.
Yeah.
Do you have a decent policy in Nigeria? So we should not be doing that comparison. We should be looking Nigeria as our country. We should be plan for what will be the benefit of our future, for the future of our children. And then even if it's a comparison, we should be doing the comparison based on reality. But it is not based when government are decided to do something. At the end of the day, when I don't know, you are a journalist. I don't know whether maybe what is the breakdown of the this JESCO and so on, this NEPA, what is their breakdown? Maybe let's say this is what they have been to earn.
Yeah.
This is the life that they've been to giving to the people. Yeah. Is there that information to us as a Nigerians?
Only when we are there's a collapse in power grid that we get to do that.
Then why?
There's no constant information about
this. Then every year as a Nigerians, we have to get that constant information as a financial report. Okay, this is the life that we produce to the country.
Yeah.
This is what we generate. And then this is our plan. We are going to build so substations. This is the profit that this to make. All those things is not there.
Are we saying privatizing the electricity sector is only a problem for us?
Serious problem, because after the privatizing, government are still funding it. Then what is the action of the privatization? Because the privatization it has become an individual property. And then today they are talking of the subsidy that government doesn't pay 2.9 billion subsidy for what?
For you and I to have electricity.
And then and then before this thing has been transferred to the private sector, there's no any year that NEPA doesn't have a foreign reserve. There's no year that the NEPA doesn't have a foreign reserve. It is after the privatization that they are not generating money. So all those things has to be there. There is a lot of I don't know even how to express it. It's very terrible. We should look at it. This is our country, and then we have to enjoy as a citizen of this country. Because
but will you subscribe with the rate of increase right now from 66 naira to 225 naira per kilowatt? But will you be happy to pay 225 naira per kilowatt if you're able to get regular power supply? Do you think Nigerians will you as a person be happy to pay that if you are able to you are sure of regular power supply?
But if you look, even the increase is too much, 3 times. Then if we look at, even if it is a market, look at the margin. If now you are buying this phone at the rate of maybe 50,000 naira, then it becomes 150,000 naira. Then your salary. Now we are talking. What is the minimum wage now?
I think it's 30,000 naira.
What?
And
then minimum wage is 30,000 naira. Up to now, the new minimum wage has not been put in place.
Yeah.
And then, if somebody you are paying 226 naira instead of 68 naira in the kilowatts, then a month you will be paying 135,000. What's your salary?
How do you meet up?
How do you make, even look at what is the salary? What is the salary of salary earner?
Yeah.
Just look at the comparison. Can people survive? Or we are going to just cut off all our electricity so that we just
so that we can not have to afford
yes, so that we can go back to the olden days.
So what we advise government to do in this regard? Because we can't go back right now. The discourse have already been privatized. And we can't go back right now. But going forward, how do you surmount this obstacle? Government has tried to remove subsidy, and I don't think government is going to go back on their words concerning that. How do you manage this scenario? so that the populace can be able to get power supply, and there will be so much coming.
No, I think Satuko should maintain, because there's no any option for that when you look at it. Even the Nigerian Labour Congress, they are going to take step first. Yes, they are going to look at what will be the stand of the Labour. Labour never come up with the stand first. They are going to look at what will be the stand of the Nigerian Labour Congress, because the Nigerian Labour Congress represents the entire workers of the nation.
Yeah.
And then these workers, it means that every worker will not enjoy the power supply.
But why do we keep going through this every time? Because it seems it's not going anywhere. Every time we keep talking about it, the discourse about increasing the electricity tariff has been on for so many years. Every time we talk about it, there's going to be an increase. There's going to be an increase. And within the last 1 year, the tariff has been hiked up like 2 times.
And then if we look at, we have Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, which is supposed to be protecting the interests of the consumers. But this Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission is even look that maybe they are the one that owns the NEPA now. Yes.
That's serious.
They are the one that's supposed to be protecting us in times, because they will regulate the price. Look at the right, but when you look at it, is they even have more interest.
Well, will it not be difficult to regulate the price in the sense that the government has decided to allow the forces of market and demand and supply to dictate the price of most things, starting from the dollar down to the electricity? Will it not be difficult for the Regulatory Commission to come in this regard?
Is that right thing for us to do as a country, to allow our everything to be regularized by the dollar, whereby we are spending naira?
But one market, the forces of the market to determine the price. So the same thing should also apply to electricity.
What is the forces of the market?
The demand, you're talking about what people want and whether they can
but
get it.
But if the demand is higher, the price has to be less.
Yes.
Then the demand is higher, then the price is higher. If you look,
supply is not meeting up with the demand,
then it is problem there. Then if today you are selling, and I need, and then you cannot give me enough, you cannot produce enough, it is my fault as a buyer, or it's your fault as a producer.
It's the fault of the distributor.
So if you look, if this distributor cannot distribute enough, the contract has to be terminated.
But
because they are not qualified.
For them to be able to reduce your demand, they are increasing the price. So you don't have to demand so much. You have to demand within the limited money you have.
So it means that this means that the market forces is not there. Because if the market forces is there, at all the time you have to provide to the market. Yeah. You have to provide to the market.
But do you think having more discourse, having more private people coming in can help to bridge this shortage we'll be suffering from?
Let me tell you, without a proper regulation from the government, nothing will change.
How do you mean?
Government must have a stand that this is, you cannot go beyond this place. Government must, because government, they are the one to represent people. They are the one to represent the poor people. Government must have a certain regulation, like this NEC,
yes.
Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission.
Yeah.
They must work as a regulatory body, but they are working as they are the discourse. So we don't have any regulatory body because we never see their impact.
But we've been focusing so much on federal government because it's also a source of worry for me. What's happening at the state level? With what the Minister of Power said some few weeks back, states are being given the autonomy to be able to also produce electricity by themselves, to set up these goals and stuff like that. And why are they not taking advantage of it? And I think the state can start can start the benchmark by also setting up their own disco to increase the power supply. Do you think states also have something to do when it comes to that?
You see, electricity is a very sensitive sector.
Yeah.
It's not just like a farm that you can just go to farm, put a tractor, bulldoze, and start planting. No, this is something electrical that you must have a place to get that power, even to control it, It's not something just easy that somebody will do it like that. Even if they're going to do it, it's something that will need a proper collaboration. So just to allow that the state will, no, even some governors, if you look at some governors, are they even staying in their state?
That is another issue. Most of the governors prefer to reside in Abuja.
If you look at some governors, they doesn't care because they are here, they are enjoying 24-hour power supply. They doesn't even care what is happening in their state. Then, what time do you think that they have a time for them to make sure that they have established a company that will generate a power to their economy?
So a few weeks back, Abia State government commissioned a power grid that will really help to generate electricity for the people of Abia State. If you can have a ricochet, if you can have that spread across the 36 states of the federation, we not even really boost the level of productivity when it comes to power across the country. And is it not economically viable for states to invest in this? Because I've seen something that is happening at in the mining sector, where you are the states now coming to the federal government. They want to have the license to be able to produce, to mine the resources, natural resources in their state. If the states could show interest in those sectors, why is it not possible to have that as also in the electricity sector?
And then all those things, mining, electricity, it is something that very important, especially in this time around. Yeah. And then if now you have a state can have a steady power supply, that state can be independent even without the federal government. Without the federal government, because the federal government is providing that. Because today, if you have a 24-hour power supply, whatever you can be even the company, even you have a foreign company that will come there to even establish, you can be a state of producing. But if you look at where is our thinking cap? At all the time, what they are looking how to even continue extracting the little money from the power mass, from the poor people. That's it. But for now, if you say now we have this, we have a substation. It has been we have 24-hour power supply. Yeah. The tariff can be increased, even if it is ×2. Yeah. But not ×3. If it is, you are collecting maybe 68 naira per, you make it 200 naira. Not 220. It's too much.
Well, why is it difficult for investors to come in? Because we know recent. Femi Todola has a good power plant where electricity, where power is being generated. Why are investors afraid of delving into this area? Well, I think if the private sector can invest more money in this area, that can boost the power sector.
You see, whatever we're doing, it has to be sustainable. Okay. Because whoever is coming to invest, he is looking at the sustainability of the of the power. He must study. Yeah. If you want to invest somewhere, you must study it, analyze it, look at the negative side, the positive side, then the market forces. As you said, investor will not just come and then when it crash, like now, maybe some people that they are ready to invest. With this increment now, you have distracted them. So they cannot invest because now if you calculate, this is what you are going as the power. Now it's ×3. You are going to pay salary, you are going to pay the workers, you are going to this what will be your profit. Now the power supply is ×3. And I don't know, you will end up even, you cannot buy fuel to power the generator. Yeah. And then the power, little power that sometimes you used to drive now is ×3. At the end of the day, you will not see anybody that will come to invest. As far as we are concerned, we must have a sustainable economy. That is what will drive anybody who want to invest to come and invest. Not just at all the time we are not sustainable. Our economy is not sustainable. Every time a day money can be increased, who will come and invest? We are even driving the investors. We are not calling the investors to come and invest in our country. Even we that it is our country, and then this where what we can invest, we can do it. We have been putting off because you can see how many industries have been closed. Previously, go to Kano, Sharada, see how many industries have been closed down, and it's because of the power of the power supply. Up to now, we never think how to revive those industries. Government even have to spend money to make sure that we have a there's no any increment in the power supply, so that the industry that we have can come in place, so that the entrepreneur, small scale industry that we have, they can come in place. Then after getting a job, then the tariff can be increased, and then even in the increment, it has become a little by little, not just 3 times. It doesn't make sense.
Interesting right there, talking about the hike in electricity tariff right there, and it's generating a whole lot of reaction from the populace. And I've been talking with Comrade Hamza Mohammed there on the issues concerning this electricity hike in electricity tariff and what government can do to relieve. But he wants status quo to remain the same, pending when other modalities have been put in place by government. But I don't think, unlike the petroleum sector, where government can put modalities to cushion the effect of hike in petrol, that cannot be said of electricity.
It cannot. Even in the petrol, where is there any relief? Up to now, it has been they are going to do something to cushion the how many people have benefited from it. How many months now? So all those things is what government has to come up with, a proper policy, with a human policy that people will enjoy it, not the policy that can kill.
But don't you think government is trying to really save the economy by taking this decision?
This thing is crashing the economy. It's not saving the economy, because when the when people that can produce have stopped producing, is that how to help the economy? This means that the economy it will crash completely, because this step is a very wrong step, because it will not help the economy.
Interesting right there. You heard it there from Comrade Hamza Mohammed. What the steps being taken by government really not help the sector, rather than helping the sector, might eventually kill the sector. But we hope that the things can be done in a way that can really ensure that we get a lift that can really help to boost the industrial sector of the economy, because it's important right now for us to develop the industrial sector must be working, and it must be working very well. I must say big thank you to you, Comrade, for joining us this morning and for shedding light on this thing. And I hope the government, the powers that be are listening, and also pay more than usual attention today, so see how they can ameliorate the living condition of people. Increase the power supply tariff from 66 naira to 225 naira is a massive increase that will definitely have a cushion effect on the economy. But let's see whether the government will do that. We'll take a quick break right now. We hand over to the network studio. We are Nola Paul Stephen, who will also be taking us through stories from the social media.